Hi, it's Helen, and this one is going to be a full body yoga flow, so enjoy. Grab your mat. If you've got blocks, grab those. Listen to your body throughout. If I'm saying something and it doesn't feel right for you, then please ignore me and listen to you, and adapt or leave one out. But enjoy. We're going to start seated, so do grab any cushions or blocks or anything that you want to sit comfortably, whether that's cross-legged, kneeling, down in child's pose, whatever you want. When you're comfy, so have your wriggles. When you're comfy, turning palms up wherever you are, and closing those eyes off if you're happy to. Bring your awareness to that breath. Check in with the belly. Can you let it fully relax? As you breathe in, can you direct that breath down to the belly, to the rib cage, so it expands every which way? Check in with your jaw. Could you make your lower jaw as heavy as possible? Bringing the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. And then with your next 5 breaths, on every out breath, can you just see if you can melt a little bit more? Obviously not so much you then come collapsed onto the floor, but can you release tension? If you're aware of one area of tension, can you breathe into that area as you breathe in? And as you breathe out, can you just let it melt or ease or soften? If your mind keeps wandering, accept that without judgment. Next 3 breaths, just acknowledge if there is something there and see whether you can either let it go or just park it, just to give you this headspace on the mat to be in the moment. And then really thinking about linking breath with movement, or breath leading the movement. So you're going to inhale, shrug shoulders high. Exhale, and then let shoulders soften. And for the next 5 breaths, I want you to keep your focus on the breath leading it. So you breathe in, then the shoulders move. Breathe out, and then the shoulders nestle back down. So 4 more, your own speed. And then when you've done your last one, gently encourage those eyes open. And we're going to float arms to shoulder height or just below, whatever's more comfortable. And then this time, inhale, turn palms to face away, looking up. Exhale, palms down, looking down. 3 more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Last time, inhale up, and exhale down. So cross-legged or kneeling as I am here. This time we're going to sweep one hand high and take one behind to just lift up, kind of a modified camel, and then sweeping forward other direction. So one hand behind bum, sweep with the other one. And again, so this time make the movement bigger. So reach it forward and lift. So again, find where it feels nice to you, whether that's lower or staying higher, up to you. Feel that movement, that space into the rib cage. Last one. And then coming forward onto hands and knees. So hands forward of shoulders, knees nice and wide. Cat-cows here. So we'll start with cat. So press the floor away, arch up, look between the knees, and then uncurl. And then keep going here. And I want you to mess around with your breath today. So breathe it out for your cat. And breath in for your cow. And then try something different. So breath in as you cat. And breathe it out for your cow. And then find your preference. And stick with that or mix it up. And then pressing back towards one side, coming forwards, and the other. Keep it going here. You might want to try a nice wide circle. Depends what feels nice. It should all feel nice. And then nestle back into shell stretch or child's pose. Knees nice and wide. Reach those hands forward, but glide the shoulders down away from the ears. Let the belly go. Take big breaths. See if you can create a little bit more space between your shoulder blades. On that breath in. And as you breathe out, feel it melt back down. Coming back up onto all fours, we're going to turn the fingertips out to the sides on both, and then it'll have a little sway one to the other. And again, you might want to take that round in circles or stick just purely side to side. Back off and just give those wrists a little twirl. We'll come to our downward facing dog. So hands well forward, tucking those toes, cover the knees, press strongly through the hands, lift the bum. Think about a long line from your head to your bum. And paddle out through the legs. We're going to walk the feet into our hands at the front of the mat. Stay low. Hands onto elbows, have a little bit of a raggy doll, knees as soft as you need. Soften the knees, roll on up through the spine. grounding through the feet. Inhale, lengthen hands high. Exhale, half fold, hands come to thighs. Think about that lengthen through the back, so soften the knees as much as you need rather than being round through. Shoulders nestled down and away. Strong through the legs, press the floor away. Full fold. So again, knees as soft as you need. Feel free to have that sway and wriggle. We're going to stride back with the right leg. Knee comes low, so we're coming to low lunge. So you might find you're quite stacked, or you might find you've got that leg more lengthened. If you've got blocks here, they can be quite useful to put your hands on if you want to bring that floor up to you. Or you can sink into range, so just see where feels right for you. And again, have a little move and a bit of a sway. We're going to release the hands. Inhale, lift up, press strongly through that front leg, so thighs engaged. Few breaths here. Interlace hands. We're going to lengthen one side and the other. And then from here, stay to one side. You're going to lengthen forward, stay strong through the centre, and kind of windmill round. So you might be able to extend, or the back might not like, so you might be neutral. So one side, forward, reach, and sweep. Once more. Releasing the hands, release the back knee. Stride it into the front of your mat, stay low. Again, a little sway. Knees as soft as you need. Release that head. Stack it back up. We're going to curl up through the spine, back up into standing. Inhale, lengthen hands high. Exhale, half fold. And full fold from here. Left leg, stride it back, low lunge. And just find your comfort zone. So hands on blocks, hands on legs. You might be back here. If you are back here, just see if you can think about lengthening tailbone down and gently encouraging forward, opening through that hip. And then have that little bit of a wriggle. And then from here, inhale, taking hands high, 3 breaths. Let the belly lengthen, or expand, and your spine lengthen, is what I meant. Interlacing those hands. So you're going to take a lean one direction, steady breaths, into centre, other direction. And then we're going to send it round on that circle. From there you reach forward, keep pressing strongly through that front foot. Circle it, and either into the middle, or you've got that back bend. And again, circle it round. Once more, reach. And back into centre. Ground through the hands, pressure off the back leg, and step it into the front of the mat, staying low. Have a little wriggle out. Curl on up through the spine. Lengthen hands high. Exhale, full fold. Inhale, lengthen, look forward. We're going to stride back to downward facing dog from here. So ground through the hands, stepping one leg then the other, bum stays high. So feel free to paddle out, have a wriggle. And connect with that breath in this inverted position. So you press the floor away strongly through the arms. So left leg, just so hopefully I get it right and you're looking at me rather than away from me when we have the twist. So left leg, bending through the knee, open through the hip, and we're just going to do a couple of shoulder circles, shoulders, knees. I've lost the ability to speak. So a couple of circles, and pop it down. Other side. So open through the hip first. Couple of circles, doesn't matter which way, whatever feels right for you. And then we're going to add on from there. So feel free to come down to child's pose and give those wrists a breather if you want, or hang out in child's pose, downward facing dog. Coming back to downward facing dog if you take that little breather in child's pose. So back to the left leg. We're going to pick that leg up. Couple of knee rolls. Then we're going to press our weight forwards and bring that left knee to left elbow. And then back to downward facing dog. Other side. Pick the foot up. Couple of knee circles. And then press up onto tiptoes on the back. Press your weight forward, knee towards elbow. And press back. Again, have a little breather in child's pose if you want. So what we're going to do from there, once we press forward, we're going to feed the leg underneath us and step forward. Which is why I'm hoping I'll be the right way round for you to see me first when you do it. So downward facing dog. So left knee, we're going to bring straight into elbow this time. So you bring it into elbow, and then you feed it underneath you. Ground through the foot. We're going to step the back foot over and onto the mat, and come to high lunge. Ta-da! Oh, you're there. This is where I really miss you in class, because I'd see the faces and either stop this or we'd carry on depending where you're all at. So we're coming back to downward facing dog, and we'll go the other leg. Downward facing dog. So we're going right leg this time. So bend the knee, picking it up. Knee to elbow. Then you bring that leg through and underneath, ground through the foot, and you walk your back leg up and over onto the mat. Stride it back. High lunge. I can't wait for the comments on this one. Please let me know if you ended up at the right place or not. So we're going to go through that a few times, okay? So back to our downward facing dog. Left side. Knee comes high. Knee into elbow. Feed it underneath. Step it over. And adjust to come to your high lunge. Couple of breaths here. Grounding through the hands, back to your downward facing dog. Right side, pick the knee up, open through the hip, knee to elbow, feed it through underneath, up and over with the back foot, and adjust to your high lunge. Couple of breaths here. Grounding through the arms, back to downward facing dog. We'll go one more time through, so right leg, pick the knee up. Straight it forwards, knee to elbow. Foot comes through and down. Step over the back and adjust for your high lunge. Reground. Downward facing dog. Other side, picking that leg up. Knee to elbow. Feed it through underneath. Step it over and adjust. High lunge. So we're going to stride it into the front of our mat now. And just have any little wriggles that you want after that. And we'll move on. So we're going to sit back into chair. So feet can be together or hip width, your choice. Think about lengthening spine. Hands can be in prayer, onto hips or lengthen forward. Your choice. So I'm going to take pressure off the left leg and stride it back, opening to warrior two. So your full block on the back leg. So really ground to the outside border of the back leg fully active. Think about pressing the hips forward. Front knee heading where the toes are, shoulders are chilled. So long lever, short lever, leave the arms out, your choice. Connect with that breath. You're going to take this to extended side angle, so you're going to come forearm down to thigh, but press the thigh away, open through that top shoulder, and then lengthening through the arm. See if you can nest into that front leg a little further. Steady breaths. We're going to circle through the top arm. We're going to come forward and up, and as we come up, we're going to lengthen through the front leg to triangle. So we're going to keep the arm movement continuous now. So you're going to soften through the front leg as you sweep down, as you sweep up, lengthen through the front leg. And that might be up here, or you might be lower into range. Just make sure you're actively pressing the floor away so both legs are active. So extended side angle as you sweep low, lengthen through the leg, and lift to triangle. So your own pace, your own rhythm, your own range. Couple more. And then come back to your extended side angle. And we'll come back to our warrior two. Press the floor away to get lift off that front thigh. Lengthen through the front leg, both feet towards me. Extended forward fold. So hands where you want. Think about long line through the back and forward fold. Feel free to have that little bit of a wriggle. Imagine both feet are pressing out so the thighs are nice and active, and then you can ground through your hands or keep them on thighs, whatever you want. Connect with that breath. Mess around with your weight, putting a little bit more onto your toes rather than hanging out in your heels. We're going to stride it into the other side of the mat. So angle your feet, release the back heel, step it in, come to your chair. Connect with that breath. Releasing the right heel. We're going to stride it back to that warrior two. So you're going to have full block on the back leg and open to that warrior two. So same theory, pressing with the outside border of that foot, so you're lifted through the arch, pressing the hips forward, front knee in alignment with those toes. If you can't open into that front hip, angle the toes in a little bit so your knee's still heading where the toes are, and that we feel more comfortable into that hip. Options with those arms, long, short, or not at all. And connect with that breath. Extended side angle, so come to forearm to thigh, but press the thigh away. Open through the top shoulder, and then see where you can nestle into that hip. And then we'll have those circles. So we're going to take the arm down, and as you bring the arm up, you're going to lengthen through the front leg to come to triangle. So arm comes low, bend in that front knee. Inhale up and lengthen. So keep going, own range, own speed. And try and let that breath lead it. So you breathe out, you come down. And breath up, in, as you come up. Last one here. Soften through that front knee, back to extended side angle. Press the floor, come back to that warrior two. Angle that front foot towards me, extended forward fold. So this time in our extend forward fold, we're going to soften through one knee and keep the other lengthened. Come back into centre and go the other way. So you might prefer feet to stay blocked. You might prefer to release the toes a little to the side and release the foot off. Just do what feels right for you. And if down here is not accessible, then you can stay higher, and I'd say press hands to the one thigh before coming up and over to the other. So work wherever you are at, and meet your body is where it's at. You need to be able to breathe, you need to be able to do it without a facial. Last couple here, and then coming back into your central forward fold, and just see where you can nestle down. Think about that long line, sending sit bones high rather than being crunched up through the spine. Have a play with that weight again. Is it all back in your heels, or can you gently encourage it forward? That's going to really activate through the hamstrings more. We're going to come to seated on our mat, so you can do that however you wish. So you might want blocks to sit on, a cushion to sit on, or you might be fine as you are. So we're going to come down onto our back. You might want a cushion for your head. Do whatever you want to be comfortable. So we're going to roll on down. Actually, before we roll on down, we're going to come to boat. So you're going to roll off your sit bone and release one foot and then the other. This isn't accessible. Hands down or out here. Clamp the knees together. Tension out those shoulders and connect with the breath. You can stay here, or you can come a little lower and come back up. So you come lower and up without the tension creeping into the shoulders. Couple more if you're taking this option. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, lower into the floor, either with feet off or popping them down to the floor. Control as you go. One leg down, then the other. You're going to take arms out, palms up. And then we're going to roll your knees down one direction. And look the opposite. Breath in and out. Try and keep the shoulder down to the floor. And then up and over, other direction. Back into centre. We're going to wind this up a little bit more now. So I'm trying to think which way to go so you can see first. So if you lengthen out through your right leg, take your right hand to your left, so opposite hand to knee, and you're going to feed up and over so you've got that twist. So you can stay here or you can bend through the bottom leg and take hold of the foot. So you're kind of increasing that rotation. So if it's too much, ignore the foot into hand and keep the knee bent, or don't bend the bottom knee. So again, shoulders still, making contact with the floor. And you can then use that top hand to increase that purchase. This should feel nice though, okay? So if it doesn't, back off. Same rules, you need to be able to breathe and it can't make you do a facial, okay? Releasing off the hand, lengthen the bottom leg, back into centre, and we'll switch it over. So opposite hand to knee, feed it over. Check in with the shoulder first. Can you still get that to the floor? And then option with bending the bottom leg. If your hamstrings aren't used to this, they might have complained at you bending that bottom leg and getting cramp. So just go easy. And then play with that top hand to get that lovely twist. Well, I think it's lovely. Not everyone feels the same. And direct that breath down to the rib cage, the belly. Release off that bottom leg, lengthen, and back into centre. Sticking with the same leg, we're going to pick it up. If you can get access to the foot, then do so, and then you're just going to encourage the knee wide. If you haven't got access to the foot, just draw the knee in towards the armpit. And then we're just going to rock it one way and the other in a comfortable range for you. You might want that bottom leg slightly bent, that's just going to limit your range, but it should feel nice. And then we're swapping over. So leg out long if possible. Knee towards you, take hold of the foot and guide the knee out. If that's to say, if it's not possible, then knee in towards the armpit. And you just gently encourage the knee out and foot towards. And then you can feed it over and away. Your range, your comfort. And then back into centre, popping one foot down to the floor, then the other. We're going to open out into butterfly pose, so we're going to have the soles of the feet come together. Now this is one, if you're quite tight through the hips, you might want pillows under those knees to block. Okay, so instead of having to hold your legs if they don't come to the floor, then grab some pillows under both knees and block. The other thing some people find is they prefer it under their bum, and that just helps be able to tip the pelvis back a bit. So see what works for you. So if you find you're really arched off, then I would encourage those pillows so that you can find that your lower back is in contact with the mat and you're just softening into this, okay? If you can open through the hips and back stay flat, then it should be comfortable. So, palms up from here. And we're going to do some breathing in this position. If you feel uncomfortable at all, just come onto your sides and maybe a few breaths there, and then maybe a few breaths on the other side with knees together. Do not stay in this position if it is not comfortable. So, closing those eyes off. Can you reconnect with that breath? Steady in-breath through the nose. Feeling that belly expand. How far down can you feel that breath travel and that in-breath? Can you feel it to your chest? Can you feel it to your belly? Can you feel it down to your pelvis? How far down can that breath go? Before breathing out and letting everything nestle back down. So just gradually see if you can lengthen that breath. Scan your body. Any areas of tension, just see if you can let them melt and soften on that out breath. If your mind wanders or when it wanders, just accept that and gently encourage it back to focusing on tracing the breath in and out. And then when you're ready, if you have stayed in butterfly pose throughout, I'd encourage you to use the hand on the same side as the one leg and encourage it up and over to come to lie on your side. Using your hands as a pillow if you haven't got one. Couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, using those hands to bring yourself back up into seated. Cross-legged, kneeling, legs out long, whatever's comfortable for you. Palms come high. Your next in-breath, we're going to take hands high. And exhale, lower down. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. And forward fold. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Any comments, questions, please let them know and let me know what's included in a class and I will record that.